Backing away from the world's wild places. Have you ever seen a place that seemed to be untouched by humans? These places are becoming fewer and far between. The world is becoming less wild and is becoming more tame. We are taking wild places and replacing them with property for people that own free-range animals. We need to stop encroaching on the wild places of the world. We need to stop replacing the wild with the domesticated, and we need to keep the natural places natural. We need to stop encroaching on the wild places of the world. We destroy wild habitats so that human-made things can be put in those areas. The Earth's remaining wilderness areas provide vital ecosystem services, help mitigate climate change, produce clean air and water, and serve as refuges for the diversity of life. Although many of the world's largest protected areas are already recognized under the World Heritage Convention, until now, the convention had no specific guidance for identifying and protecting areas based on their wildness, their ecological integrity, and their scale, according to Matthew Jacobson. This is a problem because the organization can't protect the wild places if they don't know what areas they need to save. This has allowed man to do things like putting roads and buildings in these areas. By doing this, we are offsetting the balance of the ecosystem. We need to keep the natural places natural. Humans are replacing the wild with the domesticated. People take wild places and clear them for ranchers to grow sheep, cattle, and chickens. This is another crisis. Because of this, the wild is becoming smaller over time. I have not witnessed this next point, but I've heard stories about it from movies and documentaries. Habitats are being cleared and replaced by resorts and spas for the rich people of the world. Habitat destruction is aiding the loss of oxygen and biodiversity as well. It's also aiding to the climate change that is affecting the Earth. If this continues, scientists are predicting that by the year 2100, the Earth will be unsustainable for life, according to the documentary David Attenborough, A Life on Our Planet. If we keep the natural world natural and leave it to nature, then the things that may happen according to the documentary won't happen. We need to stop replacing the wild with the tame. Wild animals are taken from the wild and sold as pets. Cats like serval cats are sold as pets to people who can afford to buy them. Cats aren't the only animals that are legal to own that are wild. All kinds of animals are legal to own in certain places. Animals like wolves, lions, tigers, wolverines are all legal to own in the US, but only in certain places. When you go to a zoo, the animals aren't really wild anymore. Sure, they don't get pet or anything, like house pets, but they get fed every day. like house pets. Wild animals are losing their habitats to ranchers who have cattle, sheep, and chickens. Like I pointed out earlier, more tame animals are coming onto the scene and are replacing the wild animals in the areas that have been cleared out. In conclusion, as pointed out, we need to stop encroaching on the wild places of the world. We need to leave the wild places alone, and we need to stop replacing the wild with the tame. The quicker we do this, the more time we have to restore the world's wild places instead of destroying them for man's gain.